Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds finally admitted to the very well-known dirty secret about the original Deadpool test footage leak. Previously, he'd been using the original leak as a big joke the past many years, vowing he would get to the bottom of the case, absolutely find out who actually leaked the footage. But even as far back as 2014, I think most people assumed that it was him. He is the guy. The call is coming from inside the room. The lady doth protest too much. While he was talking about Deadpool, he also talked about the brand new Avengers Doomsday leaks, as well as Green Lantern and some of the other upcoming movies that he's working on. I know there's been a lot of questions about the future of Deadpool just in general. What's going on with the fourth Deadpool movie? Will there be a Deadpool 4? Will there be some other kind of Deadpool movie? We will break it all down. It's just another day for Ryan Reynolds. He does stuff like this every year. Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo, spoiler bros, should take notes, leaking like the best of them. Even Disney and Marvel will leak stuff on purpose now to generate more hype. There's a lot to unpack here, so if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. This is the actual clip of Ryan Reynolds finally admitting to the leak publicly.
Some asshole leaks it online, and I'm like, looking at the guy in the mirror brushing my teeth, and I'm like, dude, what have you done? This is to be punishable by law. But the internet forced the studio to say, well, we're going to make this movie.
He goes on much longer in his conversation about Deadpool. He also talked about Green Lantern, Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, Wesley Snipes' Blade, and how it's all meant to be this story about redemption. The reason why he was talking about all this stuff is part of a larger conversation he was having about his new John Candy documentary he did with Colin Hanks. John Candy, if you didn't realize, is Ryan Reynolds' favorite comedian of all time. That's why there's so many John Candy references and jokes in all the different Deadpool movies, not just Deadpool and Wolverine, but there are extra John Candy references in Deadpool and Wolverine.
A younger, daintier, somehow meaner version of you. You died trying to save her.
He literally drove up to the event in a replica of the car from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which he also used during Deadpool and Wolverine. In the movie, contextually, he was trying to say that John Candy and Steve Martin's character did something to create a Nexus event and got pruned by the TVA, and somehow wound up getting stuck on the Void. So that somewhere on the Void, there's a version of John Candy and Steve Martin running around. There are many more John Candy references in that movie. I'll post a link for my Deadpool and Wolverine video in the description below if you want to learn about all the different ones. But the way that Ryan Reynolds explains it, he started developing the Deadpool movie way back in 2004 with David Goyer, the writer of Blade Trinity, after they did the Blade Trinity movie together. So even more reasons why Wesley Snipes' Blade is connected to the origin of the Deadpool movies. Bringing it around full circle, not only did he give Ryan Reynolds a big opportunity as the Hannibal character in the movie and work with him, and they started their working relationship, and that was one of the reasons why he brought him back in Deadpool and Wolverine, giving him his big start. But the Blade movies directly led to him developing the Deadpool movie. At the time, though, 2004, they were trying to make the movie at New Line, who were the people who made the Blade movies, and because Fox owned the rights to Deadpool because it was part of the X-Men rights they owned for the movies, it wasn't until 2005 that Fox then got interested in making a Deadpool solo movie on their side, I think, like their own version of a Deadpool movie. But they didn't want to try and do that until he cameoed as Deadpool in Wolverine Origins, which didn't come out till 2009. But after that came out, Fox then started to actually develop their version of the Deadpool movie. Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, the writers, were hired in 2010 to start writing it. Tim Miller, the director, was hired in 2011 to work on the test footage with Ryan Reynolds. So they actually shot a bunch of that test footage starting in 2011, 2012. In the way that Ryan Reynolds explains it, that test footage just sat on a hard drive at Fox for a couple years, and they just did not care to make it. They started to get cold feet because right around 2011, what else happened? Ryan Reynolds released the Green Lantern movie, and it bombed big time. He made fun of himself for years because of that. He even literally referenced how releasing the Green Lantern movie and it bombing actually hurt his chances for making the original Deadpool movie, while he was also promoting other Deadpool movies.
Nope, that didn't help things. It was more of a hell no, to be honest. I mean, we eventually stopped asking. We have no idea how that happened, but I promise you, I'm looking into it.
Then he says it got to the point where he got so frustrated with Fox that he just leaked it in 2014, timed for Comic-Con 2014, because so many people were online, big comic book audience. He felt like people would love it, and that would convince the studio to make it, and that's pretty much what wound up happening. But he actually said that once the news broke, someone quote-unquote has leaked the footage, he was so worried about Fox turning around and suing him out of existence that he spent all these years since then lying, even after Disney bought Fox. Like, that all went down in 2019, right after Avengers Endgame. That's when the deal cleared, and he's waited until now, years after Deadpool and Wolverine was released, like third Deadpool movie, successful, over $1 billion earnings. He has been that worried about having legal repercussions for the original leak back in 2014, even though all this good, all this money was made by the studios after the fact from these movies. Now you go back and you rewatch all the clips of him pretending like he doesn't know who leaked the footage, and they're just way, way funnier with the full context.
The test footage for the original Deadpool leaked onto the internet. Were you behind the leak?
That's a great question. Pass.
He was also asked, of course, about Deadpool coming back in Avengers Doomsday, Hugh Jackman Wolverine coming back, doing Deadpool 4, so he's claimed he has not set foot on the set of Avengers Doomsday yet, but notice that he didn't say that Deadpool is not in the movie, he just said that he hasn't been on the set yet. Personally, I think that was also him trying to respond to rumors about him feuding with Robert Downey Jr., which I didn't think were real. I thought that was meant to be fake. There were rumors about people feuding behind the scenes with Robert Downey Jr. It was supposed to be a big high-profile actor. I don't know where the rumors of Ryan Reynolds being the person feuding with him came from, but I didn't believe them at the time. Most people who have actually checked with Disney and the people that were on the set also said that that is false too. And the two actors, like Ryan Reynolds and Robert Downey Jr., have never actually met each other in person before, so it wouldn't even be possible for it to be true. Doesn't mean that people weren't arguing on the set, it just means that Ryan Reynolds was not involved with that. And just because Ryan Reynolds was not on the set of Avengers Doomsday doesn't mean that somebody wasn't in a Deadpool costume also on the set of Avengers Doomsday. Like, he's not personally on the set, but what about his stunt double? Or what about stand-ins standing in for Deadpool in scenes? Based on previous reports about Marvel's original plans for Deadpool through Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, like all the stuff that happened with Deadpool and Wolverine in general, before the movie earned a ton of money, they were planning on bringing the characters back for Avengers Secret Wars, but not so much for Avengers Doomsday. After Deadpool and Wolverine earned over $1 billion, they're like, oh, we need to bring these people back right now.
The plans for Wolverine and Deadpool will always be where can we get them and how quickly and how much.
So a lot of people were just like, yeah, he's definitely going to be in the movie, just a question of what he's going to be doing in Avengers Doomsday. So personally, I think he just has a small cameo in the movie. He does not join the Avengers. They probably will not reveal why Thor was crying. That'll still be a question going into Secret Wars. Maybe they'll answer the question in Secret Wars, but the way that Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds explained it, when they actually did that line in Deadpool and Wolverine, they didn't have an answer for it. They just thought that it was a funny thing to throw into the movie, and they're like, we'll figure this out later. Later will probably wind up being Secret Wars. So do not expect Deadpool or Wolverine to be huge characters in Avengers Doomsday, but probably in Secret Wars. When it comes to the next big Deadpool movie, the way that Ryan Reynolds explained it is it wouldn't be so much Deadpool 4 as Deadpool and Wolverine 2, or a Deadpool movie with a little bit of him and a bunch of other characters in it where he doesn't have to be the main character. This is why there was all that talk about him developing X-Force movies in the future, like developing a franchise where he doesn't have to be the main character, but Deadpool can just step in and cameo or be in parts of the movie without the entire movie just depending on him being in it. Also because we are heading into Marvel Phase 7, which is going to be heavily based on X-Men and mutants. So it just makes sense that they would also try to develop X-Force movies outside of the main X-Men movies, because the X-Men movies will all be PG-13, and they can do R-rated X-Force movies more in the tone of Deadpool. There was a little bit of X-Force that he teased during Deadpool 2, but was more of a one-off joke, like the team formed and then he killed them off summarily really quickly. Imagine more legit X-Force movies. One of my conspiracy theories is that Ryan Reynolds is trying to pull back on the use of Deadpool as much as possible in the movies. Like, he doesn't want to rush out a Deadpool 4 or a Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or just jam Deadpool in every single movie just because it would water the character way down more than he already is. There are a lot of people out there that have already argued that that's already kind of happened. And at least the way that Ryan Reynolds described the character, the way he thinks about him, is that a lot of the magic of the character, just in terms of big box office bang, depends on surprise and scarcity. Like all the jokes in Deadpool and Wolverine about him being Marvel Jesus and bringing Marvel back from the brink. Like, congratulations, Hugh Jackman, you finally joined the MCU, but you're joining at kind of a low point.
Welcome to the MCU, by the way. You're joining at a bit of a low point.
All those jokes worked way better because of the timing in which he was releasing the Deadpool and Wolverine movie after Marvel had hit this really fallow point. A lot of people would argue they're still kind of in the middle of this fallow point right now, but we do have Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out next year. That isn't necessarily guaranteed to earn over $1 billion, but it's pretty easy to assume that it's at least going to get very close if it does not earn over $1 billion. And even mid-tier Avengers movies will probably earn close to, if not over, $1 billion. So I think a lot of the pulls that they go for in Deadpool movies, a lot of the comedy works in more fallow points in Marvel's cycles, which is probably why you won't see him in the brand new X-Men reboot movie when that launches. But we will probably see him in an X-Men movie at some point in the future. Personally, I would be totally fine if they wait 6 years to do another Deadpool and Wolverine movie if they just want to do X-Force movies with some Deadpool in them before that. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below and let me know where you want to see the Deadpool characters show up in the future of Marvel. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. We have Marvel Zombies episodes. I'll be doing videos for that. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss it. We also have Alien Earth episodes, Peacemaker Season 2 episodes, and Gen V starting soon as well. So I'll try to do videos for everything. I'll try to get that stuff out as fast as possible. Everybody click here for my Marvel Zombies trailer and click here for all my Avengers Doomsday videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.